is Coach Jonathan with StrengthOfMind.com. I want to do a quick short video on P90X2 versus P90X. And these are the top 10 questions about P90X2 according to Steve Edwards, who is a guru over at Beachbody. Here's some of the top questions that he's gotten about P90X2. I want to go over this with you really quickly. First question is P90X2 better than P90X? And so I think the way to answer this question is to just see, that P90X2 is just a progression of P90X, the original. It's just a sequel. So just as, the first workout, P90X was awesome, and so many people got great results. And so P90X2 is just an evolution of the first one. If you've completed the original P90X, it's just a natural progression to go to the next one. So I wouldn't really say that it's better. It's just the next workout program to tackle. Is it more muscle confusion? The answer is yes. And as Tony says in P90X, variety is the spice of life. Is P90X2 harder than P90X? And so, anything is hard the first time you try it. I remember the first time I tried P90X, it was so hard to do the workouts. I was so sore the next day. So since P90X2 has totally different new workouts, then yes, it's going to be difficult at first to get used to those new workouts, those new moves, especially since there's going to be a lot more equipment with P90X2. It's going to have to take some time to get used to it. And so there's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get into the groove of it, you should be fine. Is it still 6 days per week? No. This time P90X2 is only 5 days per week. That way you can have more time spent on recovery, and the weekend should be spent doing what's called active recovery, which means basically you're not going to be sitting around all weekend watching TV. You're going to be out and about, going on walks and jogging on the weekend and staying active. They don't want you sitting down all weekend and doing nothing. But you should still, spend time recovering. Will there be options like lean and doubles in P90X2? Not really. X2 is broken down into 3 phases. And so instead of having options like lean and doubles, what they did this time is you can, depending upon your goals and your progress, you can actually hang out in phase 1 longer than 30 days if you need to. And so if you have specific goals in mind and you're not reaching those, you can actually just, stay in a phase longer. And so it's a little bit more flexible. And so that means that the program might take you longer than 90 days to complete. That's okay. But all of that will be covered in the X2 workout guide that comes with it. Is it true that there's no cardio? That is true. In the original P90X, there was Kimpo X and Cardio X, and those were specific, cardio exercises. However, with X2, there's not really anything like that. However, all the workouts have been designed to train your cardiovascular system. So you should be getting a good lung burn in the resistance workouts as well. Will I need any new equipment for P90X2? The answer is yes and no. You're going to need your basic equipment like the pull-up bar and resistance bands or dumbbells. Those are pretty much required basic equipment that even P90X had. Now, there's also some additional equipment that you can purchase for X2. However, there's also going to be hotel room options, which means, during the workouts, there's going to be one person, like in P90X, you had Tony, and you had 3 people behind him working out. There's going to be one person who's going to not be using all the fancy equipment and doing what's called a hotel room option, which means they'll either use something that's readily available, or they'll be doing an alternate version of the workout with no equipment. So there is new equipment, but it's not necessarily required. So what is the new equipment? They've added the stability ball, foam rollers, and medicine balls to the workouts. Foam rolling, a form of self-massage that forces your muscles to lengthen and align properly. It increases your mobility and range of motion, and frees your muscles to work the way they're supposed to. So we just talked about that foam roller. That's additional equipment, foam roller there. So I'm not quite sure how they're going to be using the foam roller in the new workouts, but I'm sure it's going to be something to help my, help me with my workout. And as you see here, it's helpful for all these reasons, and that didn't make sense. How has the P90X2 diet plan changed? So just as in P90X, it came with a nutrition plan or a diet plan. X2 also is going to come out with a diet plan. It's been modified to be a little bit more flexible. I know the first one was pretty rigid, and there's a couple of different methods for tracking calories that was a little not very user friendly. So I know they've changed it up a lot and sought out a lot of help with redesigning it and simplified the process, made it more flexible, and there's also a vegan option. So if you're into that, that's they have the option available for you.